Hello everybody, my name is Gray. Now, if you don't know me, I am a green dog who loves to dance on the internet. And this past weekend, I got to go to a convention called Anthrocon. Now, if you don't know, Anthrocon is actually currently the largest furry convention in the world. This year, it had over 13,000 or so attendees. And it was also my second convention that I've ever went to. The first was in A&E in 2022. This was actually an amazing experience. The big part of that was that I was able to be part of the Anthrocon dance competition. Now, as a kind of joining the furry fandom in about middle school, I was just like a little child on the internet watching dance competitions, compilations on YouTube. And a big part of that, I just fell in love with watching people like Strobes, Mangusu, Teriyaki, Taylor, you know, perform at a place like Anthrocon or MFF or all these other different conventions and just dancing their heart out. And from watching them all do that, I felt so inspired to them, and this is actually one of the big part that made me want to be part of the furry fandom. And so for all these years, I have always had a dream of being one day getting on stage at Anthrocon and be able to perform there. And it finally came true this past Sunday. A few months ago, I sent in my audition video, which you can see on my channel, and I was dancing in like a classroom. There were, writing in the back of like like a physics 2 homework, but it was so fun. And I learned it about the week prior to convention that I had gone in. Now that was like all the days leading up to that. I was receiving emails, for all the people who submitted saying, okay, you're gonna be notified in a few days. And for those few days was like probably the most stressful I've ever been. I was just sitting in the back of my room, be like, oh my gosh, I really hope I get in. The reason for that is actually since last November, when I got this suit, I put on a goal to myself that I want to go to a convention next year and perform at a dance competition. And with the ways that the schedule worked out, Anthrocon just became the best, availability. And so for last I want to say 8 months or so, I've been working really hard. You've seen all the different shorts that I've been putting on your YouTube. All of these were kind of, one was to express my creativity and learning to dance, and two was also kind of practice to prepare for the convention. And I just wanted to make this video just kind of to talk about my experience being there. The actual event was on Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. And the thing that morning we all had to come in a little bit early. I came in at about like 11:45 or something like that, and already there was a lot of furries there. One thing that struck to me about when I first coming to that room was this was in the Spirit of Pittsburgh ballroom, which they have their beautiful giant set in the middle of the stage, and it was huge. Like I can't even, I don't really know the estimates of how many people were in there, but it's a lot. And one of the things that to be honest, if I wanted to summarize up the whole thing, I would probably say I was pretty much awestruck the entire time. Okay, there were people who I've looked up for so many years, watching their YouTube compilations, watching all their dance videos, and I'm just like, first I see them off, without their heads, because sometimes furries don't have their fursuit on the entire time. But they were just chilling in the background. I gotta be with people like Jamage, oh my gosh, JD Puppy, Beta Monkey. They were just my mind was absolutely blown. It's weird because for so many years I know that these are people who exist theoretically in the world, but getting that experience just to up close and personal to actually talk to them and be like, hi, or like seeing them dance, just practice in real life was such an, I don't know, a really an amazing experience for me. Continuing on, I think getting to around 12:15, 12:20, we started out was just in the front of the audience chairs in the one corner of the room people were practicing. And we all got moved back to the backstage. Like the backstage is just, behind the curtain is just literally the loading area where people get onto the platform and go on out to the dance floor or the front stage. And the entire time we were back there for like 2 hours, basically. It was nice though because with the way that the projection works, with the audience was there were 3 giant projection screens across the ballroom, and we were just behind one of them, so we can just see what was happening in the live feed as the performance went on. And for me, and I think looking at the ordering, I was about like number 21 out of 24. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to sit here for like an hour and 45 minutes to get to my turn. Not that I mind, of course. It was just like the whole time I was just like a nervous wreck because I was like, I would see people like Caden, right, or Foster, or all these other amazing Rays. Oh my gosh, like come out and perform their thing, and all of the group's performances. Okay, I'm gonna get too off topic, but seeing them just do their thing and doing these amazing dance sets, were just, I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna compete with this? And then finally, it was my turn. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the video now so that I want to give like a kind of an annotated experience of like what was going through my head at that moment. So here. Okay, yes, so this is Miso, who went basically just before me. I didn't get to see like their performance because the whole time I was just kind of sitting in this back area right back here, just behind the set, because there was like a chair you sit in and use like for the right up next performer, and the whole time I was just sweating. I mean, one, already I'm like pretty bad with like heat, and so putting this head on for like even like a minute, I'm already like starting to sweat. Okay.
Number of contestants that we have. After all, we've seen like at least 20 or something like that. But we know that these
Too long.
last few performers that'll be coming up are no less of a dancer than everyone else we've just seen. So, crowd, let's give them some energy and let's get them on stage. It's Gray Hibikar!
Okay, I walk out on stage. Okay, I'm stopped right there. The first thing you see is I walk out of the stage, like take like 4 steps, right, and then just immediately walk back. Okay, this was a thing I was very, very concerned about because when I saw the set, I was very, with the way that the performance worked out, I was gonna, you'll see in a moment that I was gonna run out, and I was very afraid of falling off stage. So those 3-4 steps that I took was just like, okay, start measuring the stage and be like, oh, okay, I think this is how much space that I have, so I don't just fall off and jump off the edge.
Checkmate can read me. This chestnut checkers. What can I say? I got goat jeans. Real kings do king things. Live like one, breathe like one. Kill it by any means. Everybody can't leave like one.
Hey, I'm so happy that turn looked really clean. One thing I would say, so as you guys saw, like the way that I come out of the stage, my focus was that the entire time was just on passion and energy. I knew that a lot of the people who have danced in these competitions before are very technical dancers, and they have much better technique than I can. So being my first dance comp, I didn't really know how to structure things. And so my thing was, let me just go out there, have the most energy thing that I can, and just rock it. Give me down. Hey! This was like a tornado kick, if you guys don't know. I took Taekwondo a little back in like elementary school, and I basically, there was a period of time where I got a little bit more, just enough Taekwondo training to learn how to do a tornado kick. So I was like, okay, I gotta incorporate this into my first performance for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. As we begin our planned descent to planet Earth, please take a moment to buckle your seatbelt and prepare for impact. We'll be arriving shortly.
Okay, I'm stopping again. I'm trying to not to stop too much. So the transition you heard was just like an idea that I came up with, like when I was trying to choreograph this around like 3-4 months ago. I was on the plane and I heard the ding dong sound of like, oh, the cabin crew, cabin crew, please get ready for takeoff. And I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. So I just took an airplane ding sound, and it was perfect because if you listen to the song, it's first, we're taking a descent to Planet Her. That's the reference to "Kiss Me More" by Doja Cat. And in the actual music video, like the whole video was like a guy crashing as an astronaut and going this world of, of like alien women, right? So I thought it was fitting. Hey. Oh yeah, the stand up there was a little bit jank. Boom. Oh my gosh.
That is great. One more time, folks. Let me hear it.
Okay, you see weird there? I was dying. Okay, I think for a straight like 15 minutes right after this performance, I don't know, I was in some kind of trance because like here's the thing, because I haven't practiced this performance like a good amount of times over the last like couple of weeks before this, and in the past, even though I was like moving a lot at once, like I always hit a certain level of like threshold when it comes to heat in the suit. This time, when I went to halfway through, like the maximum that I ever reached in the past was reached when I was halfway through of that performance of like the really first fast song. And so by the end of this, my suit was actually hot enough that like it felt like it was like hot to the touch. Like I reached a level of heat that I never thought was possible before, which is kind of insane.
Wow, great. You definitely left it all out on the floor, and it shows. I mean, I can't believe you waited that long and you had that much energy to give out to this crowd and our judges. That was fantastic. Judges!
Seriously, Ronnie is just like, I don't know how he does it. I mean, he obviously has like so many years of experience, but yeah, he knew exactly what I was feeling. I was like, I was waiting for so long. I thought I was like, I'm just gonna fall asleep, take a nap or something, like, just because the whole time I was anxious and worried about like how am I gonna do my performance, how well it's gonna turn out. And oh my gosh, I'm more than elated. I'll let you guys, for the time of the video, I'll let you guys hear like Max or Bolt's feedback. But overall, I had such an amazing time with this performance. It's absolutely, even though it was like 2 minutes, right? It's literally a dream come true. And there were so many people, I've met so many people amazing backstage, all these dancers that I've always wanted to meet in person, and also many new faces that like, and now I'm actually like happy to say that I'm friends with, like, they're absolutely amazing people. And I've also gotten so much feedback too. One thing I did not know that you can actually DM the judges afterwards and just ask for feedback. And Bex even actually did like a whole live stream where he went through the entire dance comp and just give like additional comments for every person performances. I'll leave a link to that below. And so for me, personally, I realized that there's a lot of things I could have improved in this performance. One, like as you kind of saw in the first host like song, I don't know, I was like a lot of passion and energy, but the moves were not very diverse or very clear sometimes. Some of the timings were off, like in the transition. There's a host of things that I would definitely make sure I work on for next time. This is not like the end. This is just the start, and I'm just so excited to see how I'm gonna grow in the future. As I keep going and continue pursuing this. But I'm just incredibly grateful to have been part of this experience. And also, like, shout out to all of, like, the people who've supported me throughout this process. Like my roommate, you're absolutely amazing. They came to see me during the competition. Also, my, like, furry frenzy suit siblings. Oh my gosh, you guys are absolutely amazing. They were cheering me on at the beginning, actually. I mean, I was, like, way too nervous at the time to even, like, notice. I was like, okay, this is time to show out. Yeah, I'm absolutely so happy with how that I was able to be a part of Anthrocon Dance Comp, and the kind of the amazing feedback, people I've met, and also the amazing reactions that you guys have given me. Like it's really amazing the support that I've seen from social media, from like just posting these snippets of this performance on like Instagram or YouTube or TikTok and stuff like that. And I'm really thankful for all of the amazing supporting and kindness that I've gotten. Now, this is my first time doing this kind of talking head. I've done theoretically one in the past, but like, what do you guys think? Do you want me to do more content like this in the future, like more long form content? Because I can imagine seeing like 45 seconds of me just like flailing in the park can be pretty boring sometimes. So let me know if you want to see more content like this in the future, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.